computer. Yeah, so if you want to make sure the white part is not the pick up the red color, so just put a very, very thin layer of a white to seal the base first. And then after that part is dry, and then put the white. So that way it kind of create a little bit layer. So that way the eye will keep the white. Does that make sense? Okay.
So
Okay,
do you like a white gel pen, or do you like that Dr. Martin's bleed proof? Which one do you like to use the best for the white?
this one is the best I like.
The Nuvo drops?
Yeah, but the Nuvo is I think because they don't collapse. Yeah, so they will stay the 3D shape.
So you like the Nuvo white and then the clear on top?
The clear? No, they are. I just use white directly. I don't put the clear on top.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we are going to working on our marker workshop today. So we're going to need markers. We are going to need a 2 set of stamps. So we're going to need the 1 stamp set is the detail stamp set. And we are going to need the 1 set of stamp is the shadow stamp. And I'm going to explain what's different between the shadow and the detail. So I have a great example here. You can see this one we call the detail stamp, because actually a lot of people say they still don't understand what's different between the detail stamp and the shadow stamp. So detail stamp is like most of the regular stamp you buy from the market. They have a black outline. So you stamp your image on the paper, you get this black line, and then you use your marker, watercolor, any kind of markers to color your paper. The shadow stamp, you can see they are the reverse image. The shadow stamp, the outline is white, they are reversed. So when we take a look at the stamp, you can see the detail stamp, the outline is raising up, and the shadow stamp, the outline is can see better. This way, you can see the outline is go in. So it does make difference. So the markers, you can using on the detail stamp, you can also using on the shadow stamp. So that's different between the shadow stamp and the detail stamp. Okay, so we are going to use the old markers, okay? Those markers, they are water-based markers. They are, I wish I can say they are the magic marker. You have to have it. If you don't have it, it won't work. No, they are just like a regular water, but a very, very good quality. You can really abuse them. They will last for a long time. And I'm going to show you how to abuse your markers.
Hey, Lisa.
Huh? Yes.
Real quick. It looks like somebody else has popped in and they're taking over the screen, so we can't see you. Is there any way that you can make me a co-host again, and then I'll spotlight you?
Make you the host.
There's a co-host.
They don't show the co-host, but now you're the host now. Can you just fix it? Oh.
Yep, you're fixed now. You're good to go. Go for it.
Okay, great. Hi, good morning, everyone. Okay, so hoping you enjoyed yesterday's workshop if you were with us yesterday. So we're going to just start it. I was just explaining what's the difference between the shadow stamp and the detail stamp. Okay, and this video is I'm recording. So it's a record, and then you can just watch replay if you want, if you're missing anything. Okay, so first of all, we are going to talk about the markers. Those markers, they are just a great quality water-based markers. You can really abuse them. And today I'm going to actually show you how to abuse them. We are going to, I'm going to show you how to refill this water, and also how to abuse those markers. Okay, let's do this. Okay. So this marker is actually designed, they have a big tip, so it's good for color directly on the rubber stamp. So if you have the detail stamp like this one, it probably a little bit challenging because the tip is too big. You're probably going to have a little bit hard time to stay inside the line. So, but there's other way you can do it. What you can do is you can use as a watercolor and then just use a paintbrush to color the details. So there is a way to do that. I'm going to share with you today. Okay, so first things, when we are going to color some shadow stamp and we're going to using on some detail stamp too. So when you want to color on your stamp, there's a 4 trick. So when we are at a show, most of the time people always ask me, "Oh, Lisa, you are the professional. You can do it. When we go home, we cannot do it." And then this is not for us. But everybody can do it. But it's a few tricks, and then I'm going to share with you. First, when you using your markers, when you color, oh, let me use a bit darker color. You can see better. Okay, so when you color on your stamp, okay, you try to keep your markers together. Don't try to color like that, okay? Your foundation color is like when we wear the foundation makeup, you want to make sure whole your face is colored with the foundation makeup, foundation, and then you put the eyeshadow, you put the lipstick, you put the eyebrow. So when you're working on your stamp, you got to make sure you are going to color, for example, if I'm doing a heart, I'm going to color my heart like this. You can change direction, any direction you like, but make sure you color your foundation this way. Okay, don't color your stamp like this because every stroke, when you put on your stamp, when you transfer your stamp, it will show those strokes. So later on, after you finish your foundation, we can add the stroke. But the beginning, your foundation got to be, make sure there is no space between the stroke. And then try to keep your stroke short. Don't try to, for example, if your stamp is like a big stamp, okay, if your stamp is like a big stamp, it's a little bit hard to color like that, right? So try to keep your stroke short, maybe just a ½ inches. Okay, that's only for the foundation. Okay, if your stamp is a little bit bigger, when you want to color, so this is one part and this is another part. Try to don't overlapping this area because when they overlayer, this center part is going to become darker. So just make sure your foundation is as thin as you can. Don't try to keep repeating the same spot, okay? So that's the first things that you want to know. Okay, and then we are going to talk about the blending. If you want to use those markers, you can actually you can use it as like an auto marker. They can do the blending too, but it does need some skill. So let's do the blending. Okay, so I am starting with my yellow, and see I don't have any stroke, and then I am going to use a little bit orange. So those are just basic thing you need to know, and then we're going to use the stamp to practice on our stamp. So you can see the yellow and the orange, and then here have a, it showed that the line, right? So now we are going to use our lighter color, not the darker color. We're going to use a lighter color. Try to moving a little bit darker color to the lighter color. Okay, if you want to use a marker for blending, you make sure you have to have a good quality cardstock, like the Canson watercolor paper. They are perfect for the blending. And then make sure your outline stamp is stamping with the water resist impact. Okay, see, now we can blending, right? Okay, and then you probably ask me, say, hey, Lisa, great, you just ruining your lighter marker. don't worry about that. I'm going to show you how to abuse the markers and then how to fix your marker. So after you do a little bit blending on the tip of your marker, probably create some little hairball here. You just remove it, okay? Just a kind of wipe off. It's very easy to come off. And I'm going to show you how to abuse the marker and how to save it. So that's a two color, light color and the darker color. And then I am going to use the other one. So when you do the blending, you don't try to blending like a yellow and purple or orange with blue or red with green. You try to stay in the same family. You can do yellow and the blue, they will create the green, but because yellow and blue, they jump too far. So try to stay like the same family, okay? And then so yellow, orange, and the red. Okay, so we do the red here. And then again, we see the orange and the red, it is a very clear line section, right? So we are going to use a lighter one, not the darker one, lighter one. And then we are going to borrow a little bit red so that you can create, you can use this marker for blending. You can use it on the paper. We are definitely going to using on the stamp. Okay, now we can try this. So that's my red. I have a yellow, orange between. Now I do the yellow. You can see the yellow and the red, they kind of jump too fast, right? I don't have orange between. I can do it, but it just take a little bit more effort to do it. It will do, but if you have orange, it will make this job much easier and your markers will leave a little bit longer because we really kind of blending that red to the orange, try to create, yellow, try to create at least an orange section. Okay, so it's doable, but why we have to, there's other way to do it so we can avoid that. See, on my tip, my beautiful yellow is completely ruining, right? And then, first of all, there is some, like a hairball is appear. So just remove it. But you can see after you blending it, it does pick up some orange color. But if you kind of just keep doing a little bit like a scribble on your scrap paper, you will get your yellow back. I want to show you how good those marker is. But don't do it, try to avoid it, but if sometimes it happens, you can still save it, okay? So I just want to show you sometime if we painting on, like a coloring on our stamp, right? And then we will try to avoid to using your lighter marker on the darker color. But sometimes, hey, Amanda, you are mute, are you okay? I kind of need you to help me. Let me see, Amanda.
Sorry, I had to go grab my ink. How can I help you?
Oh, okay. I thought if something happened, I kind of need you to monitor this meeting. Okay, you're good. Okay.
We're good.
Okay, so this is our yellow, right? If sometimes when we blending directly on the stamps, and then we accidentally pick up some darker color. For example, if we accidentally pick up this purple color, okay, some of you guys probably say, ew, that's going to ruin your marker. See, your yellow color become like that. So what's going to happen? Buy a new one? No, we are going to do this. We are going to use a wet cloth, kind of just remove that purple spot. Okay, kind of just wipe off. And see, you get your yellow back. Isn't that magic? So this is the marker, but you are not going to do that every single time. Try to avoid it if you can. And then I'm going to show you some how to refill your marker. So sometimes if you accidentally forget about to put a lid back to your marker, I think Vancouver is not that dry, so maybe overnight is still okay. But if you are in the Edmonton or somewhere it's very dry, this marker is gone. You won't be able to use it anymore. When that happens, what you're going to do is you're going to use a pliers or a pair of scissors. Okay, whatever you do, don't use your teeth. The dental is expensive. So that's what it look like when you open it. Inside is have at least pigment tube, what you would call like pigment tube, right? Okay, so what you're gonna do is you are going to put if you have an eye drop, you just going to put a few drop of water. As soon as you see the water is kind of dripping down, that's how you refill your markers. So if you see the water dripping down, you kind of just dry the tip and then put this part back, and then you re-ink your markers with water. The first 1 or 2 times, the color will not change. But if you do like a 3, 4 times, the color will start to fading a little bit. So, but one set of marker, you don't refill your marker unless it's necessary. They are really good markers. By the time you need to refill your marker, is probably after you make maybe 1,000 cards, 1 or 2 marker will be a little bit dry. So that's how you refill your marker. Okay, so that's do our coloring. First part, we are going to using one of the shadow stamp. If you have your shadow stamp handy, just grab one of the shadow stamp. Okay, so I have
Lisa, can you explain the different letters on the stamp set? So I know some have S, some have B, some have D, some have M.
On the package, the S is the shadow stamp, and then the D is mean the detail stamp. And then in the corner here, you see 2019. That's the year I designed this stamp set, and the combo mean the combo. And then the number just mean the number. So you can see this one is 2021. F is mean fall. I usually launch the new stamp in the spring and the spring and the fall. So this one is designed in the spring. Okay, so that's what's different. And sometimes if you see on the package, there is M. M mean is is good for the magic mushroom. So you can use it for the mushroom. Okay, that's the one of the person sent me. I have no link. Okay, just give me a second. Somebody just sent me a message say she doesn't have the link. Sorry. Did you guys receive the email I sent after the workshop?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so there is sorry, she just sent me an email saying she doesn't have the link. Yeah, it's please.
It was in her junk folder.
Yeah, well, that's okay. Sorry. Okay, now we are going to using this shadow stamp. So this is our seahorses combo set. Okay, so if you the first time, and then we are going to use this coneflower for something else. If this is the first time you open your shadow stamp from your package, you got to make it ready to work. Remember when you purchase a new stamp, sometimes you stamp, they don't get a nice stamp image. When you have to like a conditional the stamp few times, right? So the best way is just use a eraser. I'm sure you can buy from the dollar store, $2, maybe get like 20 of them. Okay, so you kind of just rubbing. You don't have to do this every time. You kind of just rubbing, erasing the surface of your stamp. And then you're going to clean. You're going to just make sure, clean it and make sure there's no eraser crumb on your, on your stamp. So that way you can give it a try. With erasing or without erasing, you will find the difference. Okay, so Let's do the coloring. Let's do some kind of greenish color. So 1, 2, 3. And I usually will just use like a 3 color plus black or 5 color with a little bit brown. So try to, if you are new to this kind of technique, just try to stick with the 3 color plus with the black. The smaller image you use the last color. Even though we are just using the 3 color plus the black, they will create the more color. Okay, so there's a 2 way to do it. One way, the safe way is you are going to use your lightest color to color the whole stem. Okay, if you want to do that, you can just use the lightest color. That's just we're gonna use the things I was just showing you, that yellow, orange, and red. Okay, so I am going to color 1/3 of this seahorse. Okay, remember, don't repeat your stroke. Okay, I'm going to, if it is too wide, you are going to just do section by section. So I'm going to color 1/3 my seahorse with a light green, and then I'm going to do the other 1/3 of the light blue. Okay, a little bit 1/3 more. Okay, this is just a basic technique. And then later on, if you want to do whatever, you just go for it. This is just like a safe side of a stamping. You guarantee you get a very good result. But later on, you can do whatever you like. I am the teacher. I would never tell my student you have to do exactly the same thing I'm doing. I like to, you go explore everything you like to do. Okay, and just to show you something I think is work for me. Okay, and then I am going to do a little bit darker blue on the tail. Okay, try to not keep overlapping. Those marker is very moisture, and then see, I really take my time. I'm not worried about this is dry on my stem. You have enough time, unless you are in Edmonton and they are so dry. Remember, now I am going to use my lighter color. So these are light green and the light blue. I am going to blend in between. So that way I actually kind of create, I know it's a little bit hard to see, I kind of create the light green. And then on my green marker, I can remove a little bit darker color and then do a little bit more blending. So now that's my light. And then we're going to use my lighter blue to blending between the light blue and the dark blue. Does that make sense? Okay. And then for the seashell, you know what? That's just to keep it simple this time. Seashell, starfish, later on, if you want to, you can add a different color. So I'm going to just use these 3 color. Okay. Every art project, you always try to start. I don't know why it's so hot here. Or maybe my menopause is kicking. Okay, we have our air conditioner on. Okay, all the art project you are working on, I remember when we go to the art school, the first things they teach us is, okay, they take our eraser away. They don't let us use eraser. The second thing is always tell us, start with the light. Always start with the light, because if it's not enough, you can always go back to add some more. But if you make it too dark, there's no way you can turn to the light again. So I have one seashell here. Okay, see, foundation, I try to keep my stroke on my marker on the stem. I don't try to color a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit there. Okay, so do a little bit green, and then we can blend in a little bit if you want to. It really depends what kind of card you want to make. And then if your marker get a little bit darker color, see, original green is this color, but after I blending a little bit blue, my marker becomes a bit darker. But don't worry, you can wipe off the tip, or you can just remove with the wet cloth. So I'm going to just leave it like that. Okay, and then we are going to color the frame. There's a frame here. So I'm going to color the frame here. Make sure you color the frame. Okay. And then here is something I always do at the show, and it always drives people crazy. First of all, I'm going to give him a black eye. Okay, and then I always just dotting some part, and then people say that's a black, and then you just darken on your stamp. It's going to look very ugly. No, okay, so I'm going to make sure my stamp, because it is have a kind of rectangle shape, right? I want to make sure that I don't get a crooked image when I stamping on my cardstock. Okay, so I make sure my frame is parallel with my acrylic block. And then when I stamping on my, I should do this before I start coloring. Okay, make sure. Okay, so when I stamped it, I am going to guiding with my acrylic block, not with my stamp, because the rubber stamp is kind of gummy when you're trimming it. Okay, so this is a matte. Okay, so the paper is very important. There is two kind of paper that will show better. Let's see. Try to looking for some glossy cardstock. Okay, so I have a paper review video. If you guys want to know more about what paper you should use, after today's workshop, I'm going to send you the link for that video. I think it's number, I forgot which number. There's two kind of paper. There's too many different kind of paper, but these glossy cardstock and these matte coat cardstock is, you can see this one kind of shining and this one's matte. They are not regular cardstock. They are actually coated. See, I'm still talking. I don't really worry about they dry on my stamp. And then remember, I'm guiding with my acrylic block. I hope I didn't get a crooked image. And give a nice rubbing in the back. Okay. Look at the color. Isn't that pretty? So the paper does make a difference, and just make sure you use the right paper. There is some glossy cardstock shadows there. Look, Amanda, she's doing an awesome job. Audrey, so you want to know a little bit more about the shadows? Then make sure you watch the replay in the beginning of this video. You know what? Just a quick showing. So Audrey, this is the detail stamp and this is the shadow stamp. The shadow stamp is a reverse image. So you can watch the replay and then it will explain a little bit more what's different between the shadows, and you can see the difference. Okay, so shadow stamp, the outline is go in. Okay, the detail stamp, the outline is raising up. So if you want to color directly on your stamp, you got to have the shadow stamp, because if you only have the detail stamp, when you color with a marker, you only get outline. I'm going to show you, we are going to working on this Coneflower to show you what is different. But like I say, this is a magic marker workshop. I'm going to show you all the different way to use those markers. Okay, so that's what's it look like when you use the shadow stamp. Okay, so next, let me take a look at my notes. I wrote the notes a lot. So we have a lot of the video to share with you guys how to use those markers, and then a lot of a card project that I create by using, let me see, I have a lot of video. Okay, like this is they all have a video, so it's like a shadow stamp. Let me see if I have a few more samples to share with you guys. So this is also the shadow stamp, but it's a different way. This one is I stamp the image with a white ink as my foundation, and then I use the color pencil to color on top. So I'm just to share with you guys a few of the shadow stamp. Let me see, do I have more? In the middle of the moving, so I kind of pack most of my stuff. This crank is a shadow stamp too, but because my background is so colorful, so that's why I use the black. And then you can see these two cherry blossom. This is the shadow stamp, and this is the detail stamp. The shadow stamp, the outline is white. The detail stamp outline, well, depending on which color you use. So the detail stamp, any impact you use, that's what's different. So the detail stamp, they have a white area. You have to color them. Let me see, do I have more? These are frog. See, the frog is the shadow stamp, and that dragonfly is the detail stamp. This is the detail stamp. Okay, so let's move to the next. Okay. And then you can put the background, and we have a die cut, and then you can cut it out, and then you can reorganize anything you like. Well, just idea how to use those markers, right? Okay, so next we are going to use our coneflower. The coneflowers, they is, oops, I forgot to stamp it. Oh, let me just show you a quick look, the difference again, because a lot of people, they don't know what's the difference between the shadow stamp, the detail stamp. So the shadow stamp is completely black. And where is mine? See, it doesn't make a big difference, right? And then sometimes the show floor, we have a lot of people, you probably not the only one. A lot of people always ask, they say, this stamp something wrong because I stamp it and it's just the black. This is we hear this all the time, but I guess we just have to more educate people what's different between the shadow stamp and the detail stamp. So the shadow stamp, if you use just the black color, that's what it look like. If you use a multicolor, and then it shows. Right? It looks nice, but it's really dependent on what you do with that. That's why the fun part of the stamping, because this is just a tool, and then you are the artist to create that one of the kind of artwork, right? Okay, so that's a shadow stamp, and then we are going to stamp a quick detail stamp. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Okay, just want to show you a quick. See the difference? The detail stamp usually have a lot of a white area, and then you just stamping your image with a black or darker color, and then color in. But today I'm going to show you something else that you can use the marker to do it. So I'm going to just stamp one to let it dry. I forgot to pre-stamp it yesterday. And then if you use a Canson watercolor style, remember there is a two sides. One side is a little bit more rough. One side is more smooth. I found out it's become the best chalky. Always handy. Okay, so I'm gonna just let it dry, and we will come back to use those markers to do the blending, like in the beginning of the video. We show you how to do the yellow, orange, or we're gonna do that. But before that, we are going to do something else. Okay, so I'm going to clean it. You can use the markers on the shadows, on the detail stamp too, we can use that one. You are going to need mist bottles if you have one. To just do this one away. This is the paper my friend gave it to me. I think the people was using this one to make those paper cut, and I think something wrong with the cutting. So instead of putting the garbage, they give it to me. So I got a bunch of these papers. So let's do this. Okay, so we're going to use this coneflower with this butterfly, and we are going to have my watercolor paper ready. If you have a stamp positioner, you can have a handy, but I'm going to show you something, you know, I'm the person, I don't like to stay inside the line. Okay, so we are going to use a coneflower and orange. Let's just do the orange red. So I have orange and red. Oh, and one more thing about the pick up those markers. Okay, so those are your nice markers sitting in the box, right? When you want to pick it out, you just kind of push the front and then they will pop out. So like this. Okay, so it's easy to pick it out. 1, 2, 3. And I'm using 2 green, a little bit brown, and a little bit black. Okay, so that's for my flower. This is for my leaf.
So Lisa, can you talk to us a little bit about which black ink you used? Does it have to be a special one so you can use it with watercoloring?
Black ink, you can use a VersaFine Clara. You can use a StazOn. This is my favorite black ink. I just think they are very detailed. You can use a VersaFine. VersaFine is one of the box. You can use a VersaFine. Any kind of waterproof, water resist black ink will work just fine. And this is just my favorite ink. I just found out because the Local King's detail stamp is the really detailed. They are not the, for example, that's grab this one to want to use. Okay, if you take a look the black image, for example, here is my coneflower. Can you believe it? I design all the stamp. I'm so online. So okay, this is most of the detail stamp that you can see on the market. They only have a very simple outline. Okay, they don't have the shading. I'm going to see where did where did I put that stamp image? Oh, okay. You can see the detail stamp that ours, like a Local King's detail stamp. You can see there is some shading area, right? That doesn't make a difference. If you see the stamp, it only grab one. I can show you better. Let me find 1, 2. Okay, don't get a wrong idea, okay? I love Robert Naker. They are really good friend of mine. I just want to show you most of the stamp on the market. Their stamp is just like a very simple line. They don't have any shading. So that make a little bit challenging for oh, that's a stamp. It's a very cute bird. So they just have a very simple outline, right? And it's very dependent on you, how you're going to color this bird. And then it can be challenging because you have to do a really shading. It takes a little bit time to build out this stamp image. But our stamp image, because we have a lot of shading, so that makes your job easy. What you have to do is just pick up your markers and the color. Okay, so let's do these. You are going to have your watercolor paper handy. Okay, and remember there is a two side. This technique, it doesn't really matter. You can use the rough side or you can use the smooth side. It doesn't matter. And then I have a 3 color for my flower, 2 color for my leaves, 2 color for my butterfly. And I just like to add a little bit brown and the black, just give a little bit highlight. Okay, so I'm going to start with my flower first. Okay, I hope you guys can see better. I'm going to just pick up. Okay, so I'm going to start with the petal first. Okay, I'm going to color all 3 flowers, the petals. Okay, and then when you color your markers, try to hold your marker like a 45 degree. Don't holding your marker like a vertical. Try to holding like a 45 degree. Use the side of the marker, not the like a tip of the marker. So that way the ink will floating much smoothly. Okay, so side. So now I color all my petals. Remember, light color first. And then I am going to just kind of blending a little bit. Remember, lighter color you use a 50%, medium color use a 30%, and the darker color you use only 20%. And then a little bit red. I don't want it too much red, just a little bit. When the red orange meet together, they become like a darker orange. Okay, and then for this center of the flower, I'm going to just put a little bit brown. Okay, a little bit brown. And then we're going to do the leaf. Same thing, just a foundation color. Remember, don't color your stamp like this. You got to, even though it's a detailed stamp, you got to keep your marker on the stamp. Okay? It doesn't make a difference. That's my secret. Okay, once when your foundation is a color, you can add a little bit darker green. That doesn't matter. So as long as you have your foundation, and I kind of blending a little bit green into my brown, and I put a few of the stroke a little bit green too. They were green before they turn to flowers, so they look totally natural. And then we're gonna do our butterfly. Remember, you decide which part you want the lighter, which part you want the darker. Okay, so I do my light blue, and I do my darker blue. And then remember, if I can see the section, I'm going to use my lighter blue, blending a little bit on top of that darker blue. Okay, again, I'm going to add a little bit brown and the famous black again. I'm going to put some dotting on the middle of the flower, and then I'm going to just kind of brush a little bit on the butterfly. Okay, we can just stamp now, but if we stamp now, we just kind of get a colorful outline. But I don't want to do that. I'm going to use my smooth side. I am going to actually spread some water. I don't want to have a very clear outline. I want to, you know what, let's use it. Do I have my stamp positioner? Stamp positioner. If you have a stamp positioner, you can use the stamp positioner, because I kind of want to lose the flower shape. See, I'm still talking. If they dry, it doesn't matter. Oops, too big. Okay. I want to mix with water on top, and I want to lose the shape. And then later on, I'm going to put the black outline on top. So that's just one other way to do it. Okay, so let's see issue. I should do this before we started. Let's see issue. Okay, so I have my paper here and I have my spray bottles here. It's really depend. If you want to still see the shape of the flower, you kind of probably do maybe like a 2 or 3 times this mist. But I really want to create like a watercolor looking, so I kind of just give a little bit more and then kind of move around. You know, kind of just move around, and then I'm going to stamp. You know what's the best part? Because you never know what it looks like. Maybe it's very ugly. Okay, that isn't look exactly like a watercolor, and I think it's very pretty already. And then I'm going to clean. So I think it's really pretty. You know, watercolor is the most hardest technique because you are working with the water, and if you don't really control the water well, you usually doesn't get a nice result. Oh, actually, I'm going to show you. So while we're waiting for this one to dry, I want to show you. This stamp is from our Asian Delight. This is from our list set. They come with both the detail and the shadow. So the detail is exactly like this detail. It's just detail. And I want to show you when you color with markers, what do you get? You only get a colorful outline. Okay, so I'm supposed to start with lighter color. Always a lighter color in the darker color. So there's a detail stamp, there's a shadow stamp, there's a detail stamp with some kind of shading, and there is just like a detail stamp. Sorry, hoping that makes sense. Not to not confuse you. Okay, so let's do these, and then I'm going to do these. Okay, I'm going to just outline them. Because this is just the detail stamp, right? They don't have that extra shading. So when I really think this is really beautiful. Don't you think? After it dry, we're going to stamping this one with black and the stamp on top. So it's really depend what you like. If you don't really want to show this shading, you can mix a little bit more color. So that way, after you stamping the black outline, they are kind of like a different coloring. And don't worry about it if your color is run over the outline, because we have die cut, right? We're going to die cut it. So after you die cut it, it doesn't really make any difference. So if the color line, like went off the line. Okay, so let's grab a piece of, I'm going to just use the back of the cardstock. I don't want to waste one watercolor paper. So this one, I'm going to kind of just mix this. Okay. Well, it's still very beautiful. I try to show you it doesn't really work, but I think it's still nice too. Okay, so you never know. That's why the card making and the stamping always surprise you. Okay, so that's clean this one. Yeah, but you can see because they are just the outline, right? They don't have the shading. But this one, because they have a shading, so some part they create like a solid image, not just outline. Okay, like the butterfly, because there is some shading part. So here, when you miss, they kind of create like a larger space. It kind of like a blending, the color spread more. I hope that makes sense. And this one, because it's just outline, right? So because the outline is so fine, and then when you put a marker on top, only that outline pick up that tiny little color. So, but it's still pretty good. Okay, so that's it. Is it dry yet? It's not completely dry. Okay, I'm gonna just wait a little bit before I do that. So now we are going to do some coloring. Okay, while we're waiting for that, let's do some coloring. Okay, there is the one, we are going to use a marker directly color on our stamp image, and we can do using the marker on the acrylic block and then use a tiny paintbrush to color. Let me go, you can see I didn't clean my table. Let me go get some clean water. We'll be right back. Sorry, we don't need a lot. Okay, so now we are doing the coloring now, so let's bring a little bit. So you can use markers on your stamp first. Okay, there is the, remember I was talking about the when you want to color on the shadow stamp, you keep your stroke like this, right? So this one, let's see, we can do that too, but that's going to be end up a little bit too boring. So we are going to kind of follow the direction of the petal. We are going to color this way. Okay, so instead of horizontal, that's a little bit boring. We are going to kind of follow the direction of this petal and make sure your black ink is completely dry. Okay, take your time. See, kind of just do these slowly, like these. Good. Okay, remember if they have a little bit hair ball, just wipe off. Okay, have your yellow handy, and remember, lightest color always take a 50% of your whole image and then 30% and 20%. So now I want to add a little bit orange. I am only going to have a few. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Just a little bit, okay? And then I'm going to use my lighter color, blending. So when you're blending this color, your lighter marker probably pick a little bit orange, kind of just remove on your scrap paper. If you don't remove it, it's going to feel like you are using the orange color. So we don't want it too dark. And then if you can see, when I color on my stamp, I do like a one direction. I kind of color one direction, one direction, one direction, one direction, because it's a flower. You just follow their shape. One direction. Okay, this is the trick, like what's different, you know, when you finish the coloring. How come some people's coloring is more solid, like looks more professional, and some of them is just look like too thin? Okay, so like these. Okay, And then remember, got to use a good quality cardstock. Otherwise, you will see they start to, you probably by the time when you finish it, you probably, you will have a hole. Okay, so that's, okay. Okay, so if you want to, that's add a little bit darker, just a little bit. Remember, I say the darkest color, we just want to use a little bit, and then we are going to use the orange. Or you can use yellow too, but it's just, okay, that's it. Okay, so that's one way to do it. Okay, I'm going to just kind of fast finish coloring, and I'm going to leave the butterfly. We're going to use a different way to color. That's a mint Susie. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so let's finish this one. Are you guys coloring too? Okay. And how's everybody doing? Oh, feel free to show me. What do you do? Hi, Susie, how are you? Okay. Hi, Andrea. Okay, that's two. Hoping this workshop help you like get a little bit idea how to do the coloring. Okay, that's the. Okay. And remember, always use a lighter color. Hey, Amanda, can you help me to mute Susie's microphone? You are very welcome. Okay, that's six. And then a little bit green. Okay. So the trick is really when you give your stamp image the foundation, you gotta try to hide your stroke. The foundation, you try to color as smooth as you can. And I have my light green, and then I am going to just give it a little bit darker green. Okay, and then you can actually do the black, not black embossing. What I do is I usually use my nice black impact, and then I seal with a clear embossing powder, the like a detail fine, ultra fine embossing powder. And then because sometimes this technique we kind of like a blending a little bit too much, the black line sometimes is disappear a little bit. If you seal with a ultra fine clear embossing powder, it actually kind of build up a little bit texture, and then it actually, this is going to standing out more. So give it a try. And then this set also, this marker set, even though it's a very small, it's only 24 color, but you can blending the color, they will create the more color. Like they have a 3 earth tone, ochre, orange, and darker brown. Okay, remember, see when I color my foundation, I can, like a small area, we can color like this, no problem. But bigger area, just in case, try to separate two sections. And then I'm going to just put a little bit darker brown. And then I use my lighter color, blending a little bit. See? Doesn't it look like the alcohol markers, the effect? It looks just so pretty. Okay, trust me, next time, just give it a try. Seal with a clear embossing powder, it will pop out more. Okay, and then we're going to do the butterfly. I'm going to try to use a little bit purple, light purple, blue, and the magenta. Okay, so we're going to, you know what? I want to show you different way. Actually, we're going to color a butterfly different way. So I am going to, we're going to do, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do two different way. We're going to use the light purple. Okay, you can see this time I color my butterfly. I start from the center of the butterfly and I do this. When you coloring, the stroke does make a difference. If when you coloring your stroke like that, by the end of your car making, you will see the stroke. So that's not a steady. You want to your final artwork is calm and smooth, right? So when you color, you try to follow the direction. So I have my very, very light purple, right? And then now what you can do is you can have a little bit water on the side. Okay. And then what you can do is that you can kind of borrow that light purple. Okay, kind of borrow the pigment, kind of spread. Okay, not too much water, just a little bit. So you have a darker purple and they kind of very fading out. And then I think just one light purple is too boring. You can put your darker color directly on the butterfly, but I want a very, very like a smooth, light finish. So I kind of just put a little bit pink color, clean your brush, and then try to spread the color. So you can see that we color directly on the paper, and then we can using the marker as a watercolor. So you can see I start with a very light purple, I add a little color on top, and I use my brush to blending out. Or we can do this. I'm going to add a little bit lime green. So I'm going to put a little bit green. Even though you leave this block overnight and then tomorrow you want to continue, they dry, you just mix with some water, they will react again. So that's a cleaner brush, and I'm going to pick up a light green. Okay, and then when we coloring, this time I am going to from outside in. I'm going to do from this direction. Okay, so oops, and don't drop your brush. Okay, always start with a lighter color. If not enough, we add more. So you can see I'm going to do one direction from outside in. Outside in. Okay, and then I'm going to clean my brush. Now I'm going to just use a clean water, kind of connect my green and that light purple. One direction. So this is how I coloring. I think it does make a difference. Okay, and then now I want one of my wing, the butterfly wing, back off a little bit. So I am going to just put a little bit blue, and I'm going to mix a little bit darker purple, and I'm going to just color one direction. Now my butterfly wing is back up. You see it? Okay, and then the final, if you want to give a little bit touch up, I have no idea where is my white gel pen. So I have, because I'm in the process of moving, so I have these gold, just pretend this is white. So you can, if it's white, you can see on the side, it's still wet, right? You can just pretend this is a white or use the gel pen, kind of give it a little bit highlight. Well, I think it goes. Can you believe it? Time flies. Yesterday I went to Michael's. They already started selling the Halloween stuff. And after Halloween, is it going to be Christmas? Oh my God, what happened to the 2022? Does it make sense? So see, this is what we color with markers, and then also we use the marker on the stem, marker on the paper, and we blending with the paintbrush, and then we use our marker on the acrylic block, and then use the brush as the watercolor. So this is how you can use all your markers too, and then we can just, if you want to, you can just add a few. I don't have a lot of my tools ready. Okay, and just clean it. Okie dokie. Now, I think that's pretty much the full color. And I'm going to just die cut it. And then I think that's a beautiful car. Okay, now we are going to come back to this one. It's dry, right? So you can use the black or you can use the dark brown. Let me take a look. Maybe black is a little bit too black. We're going to see if we can use the dark brown. Whatever you do, don't remove your stem. So let's see. Kind of just want to see. I think the brown is good. I think the blacky probably, this one probably not enough. So sometimes you can just testing it. You know what? Let's try the brown. Always black, boring. Oh, you know what? Let's try. Okay, this is great. The bottom part is a little bit lighter, right? Here is a little bit darker. So here I want to use the black, it's darker, but the butterfly in the petal part, I don't want it too dark. So I'm going to just mix it. So I'm going to use my darker color. And the butterfly, I'm going to do a little bit brown color. Why not? Remember, you are the boss. You are the artist. You do whatever you like. Okay, let's see. Maybe it turned out very ugly. Who knows? Okay, let's do that. Ta-da! Okay, so let's do one more. This one, my color didn't run enough. I want to completely, the color is completely fitted up this white place. So we still have time. So, but you can see what's different, right? So let's do one more coloring. I don't like those magnets. I just found out they never work well with mine. Okay. Let's do one more coloring. I like that watercolor effect without the outline. How about you? I think the watercolor without the fine like outline is looks more like a watercolor. Duh. Okay, so that's a start again. So, and then at this one, now we can take a look. We want the more. Oh, you know what? The center of that flowers, I'm going to actually put a little bit purple. So remember, when you're coloring, try to hold your marker 45 degrees, and that way the ink will floating much smoothly. And I'm going to do a darker color. So and then the middle part, I actually want to use purple. You just keep trying and then find a more like your favorite color. I'm going to do a little bit brown. I'm kind of just blending a little bit color. And because we are going to mix with water, right? So it doesn't really matter the stroke. This time I'm going to kind of spray maybe 5 or 6 times. This one. And then the butterfly was blue. I think the blue is good. I'm going to stick with the blue. And maybe we're going to give a little bit magenta. And maybe a little bit darker blue section. Okay, and darker green a little bit. Let me see. I'm going to give it a little bit green. You know what? Watercolor, you never know what's going to turn out, right? So like this one, I have no idea what's going to turn out. And then don't be afraid to use some black. Okay, ta-da. Okay, and then when you spread it, try to protect your paper. Don't make your paper wet. Let's see. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5. Okay, and then remember, you can kind of rolling a little bit. I want to do a little bit more because I don't want that shape. But be careful, don't put too much. You don't want to flood. Happen on your car, so that's give one. Ha! And then after you put on your paper, you can still kind of running a little bit. See, now I don't really have a shape. Okay, and then after we stamping the outline, I think it should looks better. And don't worry about if your the water run off the line because we're gonna die cut it, right? So it doesn't really matter. Okay, so we're gonna waiting this one to dry. So you're gonna give it a try to find out how many spray is your favorite. So now we are going to fill it out the gap. I was kind of counting that I can fill it out the gap this way, but it doesn't work. So we always have a solution. So let me clean this one. Okay, so I'm going to just put a little bit yellow, a little bit orange. See, we can blending, create a new color. And then, oh, too dark. Just want a very, very light color. Kind of fill the gap. Try to stay inside the line, but if you went off a little bit line, but doesn't matter because we are going to die cut it, right? So like this. In the small one, we can go do a little bit darker. A little bit darker here. Remember, and then you can actually blending directly on your card too. Okay, and then I'm gonna do a little bit green. You can color directly on your card too, but because this is kind of like watercolor effect, right? If you use your marker directly on your stem, the stroke, the color is probably a little bit too solid. So I just want a very, very thin layer of the watercoloring. So what you can do is you can actually color directly on your card. Because the or outline is water resist. It will not smear, it will not blend, but our marker is water based. So as long as when they are wet, the color will spread. So you don't really have to use the more color. For example, let's take a look at this butterfly. We have some blue there, right? See, I just use a little bit water. When it's wet, it actually, the color will run. Okay. Leave some white spot, don't color everywhere. So that's one other way to color them. So this one is almost dry, and then we can, before it completely dry, actually we can put some water on top too. Any way you like. There is no right or wrong. Kind of make those white spots disappear. And then later on, when we stamping the black on top, all the white spot will be colored. Okay, like this. Okay, so I'm gonna wait until it dry. So see, now I hope you kind of get this idea how, yours that'll be wet. How you can use those markers. Let me take a look at my notes. Did I missing anything? These, blending on the stem, blending on the paper, that. Okay, so that's wait until it's dry. This one is dry, and we put the final outline stamp image on top. So I like to see what you guys create so far. If you can if you have a create some card, like to see what you do with those markers. Audrey, wow, see, you can see that Audrey have a cherry blossom, very beautiful. How about you, Amanda? Have you done anything?
Yes, so here's some of mine. Here, I'm gonna spotlight myself and then I can spotlight. So
Good.
oop, that's upside down. So there's that one.
Ooh,
I tried some of the watercolor.
pretty. Ooh, that's very nice. I like the pink. Audrey, Amanda, can you spotlight Audrey's card again?
Yep, hang on one second. Let me unmove mine and let me do Audrey. Audrey, hang on one second. Let me show yours.
Very nice purple. Okay, hold there.
Oh, Audrey, hang on.
That's nice
Add
cherry
to the
blossom.
pen. Oh, why is it not? Okay, there we go. Oh, I did mine. I did not want that. Hello.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. There's Lisa. Audrey. Oh, I did Andrea. I'm sorry. Where's Audrey? There you are, Audrey. Sorry. There you go. Oh,
Okay.
look at that. So
Ooh.
pretty.
Wow, look, Audrey's the craft room.
Yeah, look at all those magazines. You can unmute yourself, hon. There should be a button on your screen to unmute.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can hear her. Yeah, wow. That's nice. That's the cherry blossom background. Pretty. Okay.
There you go. Go ahead and talk, hon.
Can you? Yeah. Can we, oh,
Okay.
There she
yeah,
is.
there you go.
This
There we go.
one, I made the grave error of using yellow and purple.
Cool.
Came out
So
brown.
turned a little
Yeah,
brown.
see, you never know.
And this one, I decided to use just purples.
I think that will work too. And then you decide if you want to put the black outline.
Yeah,
On
I'm
top
waiting
of
for it to dry.
Yeah, well, thank you for sharing with us. Anyone
You're
else?
welcome.
Hey, King in Alaska, have you done any cards? Thank you, Audrey. Oh,
Hey, this is Margareta.
Margarita.
Can you see?
Hang on one second. I'm going down to you. Hang on one second. Margarita, I'm gonna pin you. Hang on a second.
Ooh, cool. Margarita, hey, I want to see, I think that's really pretty, that the watercolor effect. I like the color. Yeah, see? Very nice. Ooh. Wow.
And that's
Awesome.
it. So I think this one, I'm gonna try and do the die cut here
Yeah.
and see what it looks like.
Yeah, I think after you die cut it, it's going to look awesome too, because the die cut is actually very detailed. So
Yeah.
Thank you for
Okay.
sharing with us.
All right.
Hey, anybody else? King Alaska, you're the next. Okay, how to bring her to the spotlight?
Okay, Kim.
I
Alaska. Let me
decided-
find her real quick.
I decided I was started out with green on my frog, but then
Okay.
I didn't like the green, so I decided to make him red. I have a harder time with the markers.
No,
So-
hey, I love your water lily. It looks really pretty color.
Thank you. I just, so the markers will take a whole lot more practice with me than the mushrooms did.
Well, that's okay. Yeah, please, we just show you how to use it, but you give it a try. It's just to show you different way. Hi, Frank and Sharon. How are you feeling today?
We're doing better. Getting
You
there.
better? Good. Nodding and I got a COVID last month after we come back from Orlando. So I feel like it's a catch cold, but never want to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah? Are you feel better now?
Somewhat.
Well, that's good. So after you feel okay, you can watch the replay, get a hands-on, create some card.
Yeah,
That's the idea. Yeah,
The best medicine.
exactly.
but it's interesting to watch.
Okay. Well, good to see you too. And you guys take care.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else want to share with us? Let's see. Wendy, have you done anything? Any cards? Can you unmute yourself? Oh, there you go.
I haven't done any cards, but I was experimenting with
Oh,
the
that's okay.
fan.
Oh, I want to see. The color is pretty. Oh, yeah.
I dotted the blacks all in the wrong place, but anyway,
Oh,
that was fun.
That looks nice. That looks nice. After you die cut it, it's going to look even better.
And I sprayed the chameleon.
Very nice.
Kind of all watery.
That's
I
okay.
think I would
After
Stamp
you
the
dry,
outline again.
yeah, after you dry, just put the outline on top.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Anybody else like to share your card with us? We have a lot of shy people. They don't want to show show us in front of a camera, but that's okay. So I will send this link with after this workshop, and I hope you guys enjoy this workshop, and we will definitely have a more workshop. Do you like the idea? We do this again? Good, everybody knock. Okay, so we are on time. We actually finished a little bit sooner today. Oh, let me finish this one, the final one. And feel free to send me an email or message me anything if you have any questions. Let me just finish it.
So Lisa, one more question. For the stamps, when you put like a background over it, like the sentiments or the script and stuff like that, do you do that before you die cut? Do you like to do that even when you die cut?
The sentiment?
Yeah, like the script background that you have that we use a lot for
Oh,
background.
it doesn't matter. They work both way. You can do before or you can do after. I will probably do it before you do the die cut. There you go. See, it kind of looks completely different, isn't it? So I think maybe next time I will keep here a little bit lighter, but you guys get idea. Okie dokie, that's everything for today. I hope you enjoyed today's workshop and have picked up some nice tips from me. And thank you so much for joining me. And we will meet online again. And Amanda, I am going to contact with you. So I have a, I'm going to contact with you privately. And thank you so much for helping me do this stuff. Amanda is like an IT guy. So you are going to become
Well, this
my
is
coach.
actually so wonderful because we can't do classes with you anymore. So having the opportunity to come and ask some questions and, to get those slow at the show, it's so busy and you've got so many people at the booth that this really helps so much. So
yeah, in the lead workshop, actually, I got an opportunity to share with you guys, get a connection with you guys, because sometimes it's really hard to just talk to myself. I like to have some feedback from you. So maybe later on, if you like, I will send you guys the email. Maybe we can get together just crafting, because I am semi-retired now, and sometimes it's good to have, we just get together and we just do all crafting and chatting, and then maybe we just show you some of the project that everybody are working on, if you like the idea. So I will definitely send you an email, and the next 2 months is going to be so busy for us because we have to move. It's just a surprise. We wasn't planning to move anywhere, but it happened, but that's okay. Okay, so that's everything for today. Thank you so much, and I'm going to see you next time online again, and have a wonderful day. And Frank and Sharon, hope you guys feel better soon and join us next time.
Thanks, Lisa.
Okay, bye guys. Bye.
Bye.